My name is David Foote. Born May 5th, 1968 in New Albany, Mississippi, Baptist Hospital in New Albany. My mother's name is Lula Jean Miriam, and my father's name is Junior Hubbard. I got a brother named James Miriam and a sister named Phyllis Foote, but both of them are deceased right now. And I went to Ford Elementary School here in New Albany, attended junior high school here in New Albany, and I graduated from W. Daniel High School in 1987. After that, attending high school, I went to Northeast Mississippi Junior College for 2 years, graduated from there, and then after doing 2 years at Northeast, did my associates, I transferred to University of Idaho. I signed a full scholarship at University of Idaho in Moscow, Idaho. Played for Kermit Davis there. And then after finishing there, I played 1 year there, then I transferred because they got a job somewhere else, and I transferred from there, and I ended up at the University of Central Oklahoma. That's what it's called now, but back then it was Central State, but then they converted to University of Central Oklahoma. I graduated from there in '91, and then I played professional basketball overseas in Germany, Finland, and South America for 7 years. And then my last year playing was 1996. And then after that, finishing professional basketball, I started teaching school at Holy Family in Tulsa, Oklahoma in '97, and I did that for about 6 years, and then I started my own business after that.
Where did you grow up in New Albany?
I grew up on the south side of New Albany, but I basically grew up all over New Albany because, like I said, as a kid, I ran all over this place, and since I've been back home, it's a lot of stuff that became familiar to me. I thought this was the biggest place in the world when I was a kid, but as I got old, I mean, since I came back, it was so small. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of threw me a little bit. But other than that, I grew up on the south side of New Albany, and I went to school at Ford Elementary. That's where I started at Ford Elementary. I lived on Oak Street. Matter of fact, I lived right down the street from the elementary school and the junior high school. You know what I'm saying? And we got a real tight knit community. Especially the ladies in the neighborhood, they all look out for the kids. You know, it was a real nice neighborhood. I love my neighborhood growing up. I really did. As a youngster, when I started out playing baseball, I love baseball more than anything. And so I remember many days, like when I was a kid, young, growing up, it used to rain when we played baseball. I don't care about football, basketball. It was just something about baseball. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't so much the stars that played on TV. It was just something about baseball I loved. You know, so I didn't start playing basketball until probably about 10 years old, 9, 10 years old when I first started playing. But I just love baseball more than anything at first. You know, but then I started playing basketball. We had an intramural league at the community center, and the guy in our community, he put a team together and he picked me on the team. And I didn't even really know I could play basketball. You know what I'm saying? I had never really played it. And then I also remember that same year, my 5th grade year at Ford Elementary School, they put a goal outside on the playground, and the first time we had one out there. And I started playing on that goal every day. Even after school, we'd go up there and play. And I just got good at it. And it took off from there when I was 10.
When you played baseball in your neighborhood, where would y'all play?
We used to use all the fields. We would go sometimes. We would go play at Ford Elementary. We would play in the churchyard in the neighborhood. We played all over, man. We even used the field at W. Daniel High because they never bothered us. Kids growing up, they never bothered us about using the field, using the gym. They just let us do what we wanted to do back then because they knew we were just kids just having fun. So basically, that's where it all started. Really, played at Shadydale Park. You know what I'm saying? We played down there a whole lot, basketball and football. Basketball and baseball. So, but that's pretty much where it started. We played at the park in Shadydale. I would say Shadydale Park down on the south side.
When you said the community center,
mm-hmm.
you played basketball
mm-hmm.
there. Who got that together?
Okay, well, the director of the community center's name was Larry Coon. He was over the community center, but it was crazy. Every year that I played baseball, I played for the same coach. The same coach picked me from my first year T-ball league. His name was Teddy Bowser. He picked me from the time I played T-ball all the way to 16 to Pony League. And the amazing thing about that was we won the championship every year I played baseball. We never lost. I won every single year. So if I would say who got me in baseball, I would say Mr. Bowers. He the one who really showed me how to really play baseball. And to this day, when I tell people when I played baseball, they like, man, you didn't play baseball, you was too tall. But really, what blows their mind is I played catcher. I played behind them. I was a catcher. So, but as going through high school, I started getting taller. I had to stop playing because my knees was hurting me bad. Yeah.
Did you continue to play baseball through high school?
Yeah, I played all the way through my sophomore year of high school, and then my junior year, I was really just playing part time because my knees was hurt so bad I couldn't catch. So. Me and AJF Mason, we shared time at catcher. But after my sophomore year, I didn't play my junior and senior because I just couldn't do it. And then I was running track, so it kind of coincided with that. So it was tough.
When you were a kid growing up on Oak Street, who were the other kids in the neighborhood that you played with all the time?
I played with my cousin Bobby Bolin. I had my friend Kevin Howard, Tim Finley, Michael Ball. You know, we all grew up in the same neighborhood. And then Keith Gibson, just all those guys. And the amazing part about it was we all grew up together. Like, we did everything together. From the time we was kids all the way till we graduated, we was always together. So I think that was the reason why we had a lot of success playing together, because we knew each other from in diapers, you know what I'm saying? So it was good. Who else I played with? That's about it as far as, like, I played with Johnny Payton, but Johnny was older than me. He was 2 years older than me. Chester Strickland, Chris Johnson, Bob Robinson. I played Chris Basil, Randy Davis. I played with all those guys, but those guys were older than me. But in my class, it was Keith Gibson, Bobby Bolin, Kevin Howard, Tim Finley, Michael Ball, those guys right there.
Would they, or would y'all play basketball? Would they leave the door open and let y'all play at the gym at BF Ford?
Sometimes they did. Sometimes we had to sneak in and play. But when we did go inside the gym, when it was locked, they would come by and see us playing. They would just leave us alone. They wouldn't bother us. You know what I'm saying? And but most of the time when the gym was locked, we just go to we loved playing inside. But if we couldn't get in the gym, we'd just play outside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you said they'd put a hoop up at the playground at BF Ford.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And there were courts down at Shady Dale.
Mm-hmm. We had courts there. Well, not at first. Okay, they had a swimming pool right there, and they did have a court. It was a court way back in the back, but it was out. It was always messed up. But we used to use one end. But when they closed the swimming pool down, they put this one. I went to my freshman year in college. Might have been my senior year, but they covered the pool up. And so they put a basketball court out there. So we used that court. That was older, when I got older. But when I was younger, we had to go there forward. We used to court down there in Shadydale. We go on the north side. We come out on this side of town and play. We used to play north side against the south side kids. So, we always had somewhere to go play. You know what I'm saying? That we used to baseball field. They never bothered us play. We just had a good time.
Did you grow up swimming at the pool down at Shadydale?
Yeah, I sure did. From the time I was a little boy all the way through. You know what I'm saying? We used to have great times at that pool. Great times.
Do you remember who the lifeguards were?
Who was the lifeguard? I think, who was our lifeguard then? Let me think. I cannot remember who those lifeguards was. I can't remember. We used to have different ones every year. I think sometimes, like, the older guys, like, okay, when I was coming through, I think like Hudell Davis was a lifeguard one time, Gary Golden. There was a lot of older guys that played basketball, played sports. They were mostly lifeguards at the pool. You know what I'm saying? Who else used to be a lifeguard? I can't remember who else used to be down there. But I remember Hudell used to be a lifeguard, Gary used to be a lifeguard. And then we used to go to the recreation center, because they used to teach you how to swim at the recreation center on the south side.
What do you call the recreation center?
Okay, I don't know what it is. It used to have a swimming pool right there. It's on
the community center.
The community center. I mean,
okay.
Say that's what I meant.
Okay.
I call it a recreation center
okay.
back then. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. When at the swimming pool there, was there ever a concession stand?
We had a concession stand.
There was.
They had a concession stand. You go inside there. They had drinks, chips, candy bars for the kids. Then you go inside. They had the girls' side. They had the boys' side. When you go to the pool, everything. They had everything down there. It blew my mind since I came home. I literally grew up in that part. Like, we used to be in that part to dark, like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. They had lights, play everything. Now when I come through there at night, it's dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. So that would be something nice, like to kind of bring that park back for the kids. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that park, man, we had. I grew up in that park. I lived right on Oak Street. I was right down the street from My school, the park, everything was right there. You know, so that's why I know like they don't even play ball or nothing down there no more. You know what I'm saying? So me and my friend, my cousin, they got the Labor Day thing coming up this year. So we thinking about throwing like a 3-on-3 basketball tournament like that Friday and Saturday, and doing like just have like 16 teams, have a single elimination, something like that. So we putting that together for this year. So hopefully we can make it an annual thing, you know what I'm saying, to try to kind of pick it back up. See, my mom, when I was young, they used to have a club called A1 Social Club, and they used to do all the barbecuing and all the picnics in the park. And I always had stuff for the kids, you know what I'm saying? I mean, every weekend, especially in the summertime, that park was packed every weekend, And they used to play softball games, like the grown-ups would play softball games. They have men and women's league. They had all that going on down there. Now they ain't doing none of that no more. So maybe somebody need to bring it back, you know what I'm saying?
Now, what did your mom do?
Okay, my mom, she was growing up. My mom, she worked there. She had a couple jobs, but I think her main job was work. She worked at the nursing home here in New Orleans, and she retired from there.
Okay. In middle school, was there a middle school basketball program?
Yeah, we had a basketball,
Part of the
basketball,
school?
football, everything. My coach in junior high basketball was Coach Bradford, and football Coach Will Banks. I can honestly say that they molded me. Like, though they was tough on me. Like I get to Coach Chill, but Coach Will Banks and Coach Bradford, they the one molded me to understanding that, David, you can play, you good, but you got an attitude. I had an attitude problem. It wasn't so much an attitude problem, I just hated to lose. And when I lose, I wasn't shaking no hands, I was just mad, right? So they the one kind of molded me into like, hey man, you gotta have discipline, you can't be, and this once you get to Coach Chillers, man, he ain't gonna have this, you know what I'm saying? So I always kept that in the back of my mind, so when I finally got, I talked about Coach Chillers in a minute, but I would say Coach Brown and Coach Wilbanks, they molded me, they put that discipline in me to understand, it ain't just about you, you gotta think about your teammates, you gotta think about other things, so I appreciate them for that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna give you a story about
Tell me about him.
This is funny. And I love Coach Will Banks, but my 8th grade year, I was quarterback in the football team. And we was scrimmaging the 9th grade. And I knew that we couldn't beat the 9th grade. I knew my guys in front of me that were blocking, they weren't ready for the 9th grade guys. I knew this. So I'm like, Coach, why are we scrimmaging against the freshman team? He's like, man, it's gonna be a good scrimmage for a day. We need this. So we started scrimmaging. First play, I'm at quarterback. I drop back and they rush me and I just threw the ball because I just trying to get rid of it. So he said, Dave, you got to stand in that pocket and you got to throw the ball. I said, Coach, they coming. So the next play I run, I drop back and go throw. I think I get a car this time, because they was coming. So he started fussing. I mean, he ain't never fussed at me like this, right? So I got mad. I took my head off. I slammed on the ground. I said, Coach, I went completely off. And he threw me off the team. And I didn't care. I was bit. Well, I did care, but at that time I was so mad I didn't know what to do. So for the whole, I never noticed the whole football season I didn't get to play. But every home game, I used to sit up there by the gym where the high school is, and I watched the game from the gym. I used to cry, man, because I wanted to be out there so bad. And I didn't ask him to come back on the team. So I think he would have let me if I came and asked him to apologize. But I had so much pride, I wouldn't do it. But boy, it hurt me so bad. I hated that I missed that year in football because I think it kind of set me back going into high school trying to be the quarterback. I quit. I hate that. But that was one story me and Coach Will Banks had. But other than that, man, Coach Will Banks is a great guy. I loved him. He had a personality, but he was mean too. He was tough. But but I think he was being tough on us because we needed it. I don't think he was being tough on us because he was just that way. I think he really knew what we were going into as men, once we leave. Because he saw us, we was pounding, whining, because we was kids. You see what I'm saying? So he was just trying to put that toughness in us, I think. Because once I did go on, what he gave me, I really needed that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but I love Coach Whitman. He's a great guy. He's a great man. He was good. Matter of fact, I got a picture at home when I won the state championship my senior year in Jackson. My mom got a picture. She said, and I'm holding the gold ball, and Coach Whitman is standing beside me.
So y'all made up.
Oh yeah, me and him was all. Yeah, even when I got older, me and him made up. Yeah, we was good.
When did basketball kind of become when did you flip kind of make that your priority?
It was my really my freshman year. My freshman year I made the varsity team, only freshman on the varsity team, and with some luck, Cause one guy got threw off and the other guy quit, so I ended up getting the varsity. I was the only freshman with a varsity uniform. Well, that was me. So going into my sophomore year, I went back out for football because I didn't play my freshman year football. I went my sophomore year, I said, I'm gonna go play football. Coach Jones was the head coach, and he really wanted me to play quarterback. He said, David, I need you out here. So I went out and played football. So Coach Childers, this one, I mean, I didn't know at this time. I was like in all sports at the time. I really hadn't just locked into basketball yet. But Coach Childers came to me right before football season started, and he said, Dave, you play football, I'm not gonna let you come out for the basketball team. And if you do come out, you're not gonna make the team. Coach Childers literally told me that. I'm like, Coach, but I like to play football. I mean, you can't stop me like that. What would you do? He said, well, I can stop you from playing basketball because I'm the coach, right? So I'm like, wow. So I went to Coach Jones. But I started just to play football because at that time I just went in love with basketball. But when Coach Childers talked to me today, he said, Dave, look, you got a chance to be a starter as a sophomore with 4 seniors. He said, but if you play football, it's going to set you back. And I'm not going to waste my time trying to bring you up when I can have somebody that's already doing it. So I went to Coach Jones and Coach Wilson. I said, I got to quit football because my mama don't want me to play. So Coach Jones was like, yeah, all right. You gonna put that on your mama? What you mean, Dave, you got to play? I said, Coach, I can't play. My mama don't want me to play. So for like 2 or 3 weeks, he was just teasing me in the hallways in front of my friends. Talking about he's a mama boy, he can't play, you know. So I told him, well, Coach Childers said if I play football, I can't play basketball. Oh, that pissed Coach Jones off, you know what I'm saying? So they had this big thing. So Coach Jones wouldn't release me from football. So I had to sit almost the whole football season watching practice basketball. I might well be on the football field, you see what I'm saying? So I end football season. Coach Jones finally released me almost at the end of football season. He released me so I could start practicing with the basketball team. So when I got to start practicing with the basketball team, I saw, man, hey, I'm pretty good at basketball. You know, like I really didn't like basketball. I knew I could play, but I couldn't shoot that good, you know. But I don't know, it just clicked. You know what I'm saying? And being around Coach Childers, he really helped me advance my game. So every year we have this one. I knew I was ready. We have the maroon and white scrimmage game every year before the season started in basketball. So the whole town came, but they always come out and watch the game. So I was on the second team, and we beat the first team that night. And so the next day in practice, Coach and I guarded Johnny the whole game. We won the game. So after the next day in practice, Coach Childers named the starting 5. And when he got to the 5th spot, he said, this guy been working hard for the last 3 weeks to try to get this spot, and he proved it last night. He said, David Foote is going to be my 5th start. Now, I'm on the team with about 7, 8 seniors, and I'm a sophomore. Man, that whole year was hard, man. Like, they gave me the blues all year, you know what I'm saying? But that's crazy that I went through that whole process of dealing with that whole situation, playing with those guys, but it taught me resilience. You know what I'm saying? It taught me, like, I don't understand. We went undefeated that year. We didn't lose a game. But I don't know how we did that because we didn't have no camaraderie. Like, we weren't together. We had this clique over here, this clique over here. We was not together. But it just seemed like when we got on the court, it all just came together. But we won 36 games that year and didn't lose a game. Yeah. I'm saying it on record right now, I still don't feel like that was our best team, even though we was undefeated.
That was your sophomore year?
My sophomore.
That was your first year to start?
That was my first year to start. Mm-hmm. I started all 36 games.
And who were the other guys on that team?
I had Johnny Pate, Chester Strickland, Chris Johnson, and Michael Ball. That was our starting 5. Then we had Bob Robinson, Chris Basil, Tim Finley, that was coming off the bench. Who else we had? Who else on that team? We had a couple more guys that was on that team. I can't remember. I can't remember the other guys, but it was Michael Ball, Tim Finley, Chris Johnson, Chester Strickland, Johnny Payton, Bob Robinson, Chris Basil. I can't remember those other guys. It's been a while. I can't remember the other guys. I think it was, who else was that? It might have been Kevin Howard. I just can't remember those other guys. I can't remember.
So y'all went undefeated.
Went undefeated.
That was Harvey Childers.
That was Coach Childers.
Who was your assistant coach?
Assistant coach was coach. At that year was Coach Murray. Robert Murray was assistant coach. He coached baseball. And he was assistant coach of basketball.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to know? Wouldn't you like to now, kind of been a fly on the wall, to hear the conversation between Coach Jones and Coach Childers when they realized they were in competition?
Yeah,
for you?
yeah. Cause I know they had that conversation. I know they did. And Coach Jones, I mean, Coach Jones, he really loved me as a football player. He loved me as a football player. He's like, come on, day to day, you be a great quarterback. You know, he loved me. Like, even after that year I quit on, I went back to the football team my junior year. I was quarterback. But, and you know, but I can just imagine the conversation they had, though. Now, you think Coach Wilbank's a character. Coach Jones is a character now. He used to tell us some stories before the games to blow our mind. You know? I'm like, Coach, man, you got us thinking about this before we go on the field? You know? Well, he was a great. I love Coach Jones, man. I love Coach Bill Jones, man. He. I don't know what he saw in me. I was just a kid, but he thought I was the greatest kid in the world. He's like, man, you know the plays, everybody follow you, you know, like you're a quarterback, you're a good leader. He said, I can't believe Coach Wilbanks didn't see this when you was young. You know, Coach Wilson said the same thing. He's like, David, I love you a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? You do everything you're supposed to do. I love them as coaches. They're my guys right there. Coach Wilson, Coach Jones, they're some great coaches in football. We didn't win a lot of, well, we won a lot of games. We didn't win no state championships in football, but it wasn't no doubt in my mind. Every football game we played, we went into those games, we knew every single thing about our opponent, what they gonna do, everything. We knew their weaknesses, their strengths, and everything. Coach Jones really prepared us before every football game. It was like he ran like a college. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and that's what I loved about Coach Jones. They were some great football coaches.
Tell me about your junior and senior years in basketball.
Okay, my junior year, we lost 7, 8 seniors, so I'm thinking, oh man, ain't no way we're gonna make it back to state, you know. So I had my cousin, his name was Bobby Bowden, my friend Kevin Howard, Tim Finley, Michael Ball, and me. That was our starting 5. They had Keith Gibson, Alvin Parr, Jeff Snyder, Ryan Williams, Paul Good, a couple more other guys that was coming off the bench. But that team right there, we all grew up together. I'm talking about the white guys and the black guys. We all grew up together. Me, Paul, Jeff Snyder, we all knew each other. We was tight. So, but I would tell them, I said, man, we ain't gonna make it back to state. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all don't understand what's going on out there. It's tough out there. That's all I was saying to them. But my cousin was like, Dave, I'm telling you, we're gonna make it back. He said, man, we can do it. We went 35-3 and went all the way back and won it again. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't expecting that. But I knew how good we could be. We was together, but I was underestimating my guys because they could really play. And we ended up that year, my junior year, finishing 35-3, and we won state championship that year. But we only lost 3 games, but the 3 games we lost them late in the season because we was trying to go undefeated that year. But we lost to Holly Springs, Mississippi, and then we had to we lost to Corinth during the regular season, and we lost to Wheeler. But in the state championship first round, we got to play Hot Springs again after they beat us in New Albany, and we had to finish 3rd to get to state. We met Hot Springs first game in Jackson. We put it on pretty good because we just kind of underestimated the first time we played them because we didn't really feel like they were that good. So we kind of underestimated, but they came to play. But we caught them in Jackson, we put it on pretty good and got rid of them. So after we won that game, we ended up walking everybody down, and we won it again. Who
did you beat that year to win?
We beat in the championship game. We beat Stone. It was Stone County. Out of they down south. It was Stone County who we beat. My sophomore year we beat. I hate I had to go back, but my sophomore year we beat Southeast Jones. We was number 1 in the state, and they was number 2 in the state. And it was like 8,000 people at that game. It was packed, man. And then my junior year of Stone County, they weren't ranked that high. I think we were ranked like 3rd in the state my junior year, and we ended up beating them that year. That was Stone County. And then my senior year, we lost 3 starters. We lost Michael Ball, we lost Bobby Bowler, and we lost 2 starters. We lost Bobby and Michael, but we returned everybody else on the start lineup. And then we finished my senior year 27-7, and we won the state again my senior year. And I don't know how we did it my senior year. I'm just gonna be honest, like, we had so many problems, like people getting hurt, you know, just so much stuff going on during the season. But we managed to go all the way through, and then we got to state, and we won 3 in a row. We beat Forest Hill in the state championship final my senior year. Mm-hmm. They had 2 guys. One guy signed Mississippi State, another guy signed with Ole Miss. I think played for them, but we put it on them pretty good. We ended up beating them.
Who were those guys?
One guy's name was Darius Robertson, and the other guy's name was Chancellor Nichols. You know what I'm saying? I met both of them the year before at the basketball camp at Mississippi State. You know what I'm saying? We went to camp that summer. And then I remember before the game started, I met those guys. I was telling them, man, I said, I just met you cats last year in the camp, and now I'm playing against y'all state championship. They both on the same team too. You know, put it on pretty good.
What was the atmosphere like, and the student support and the community support there?
You know, it was crazy. They gave us these shirts. They got after we went undefeated my sophomore year. When we made the state that next year, they gave us these. They had these slogans that were on the shirt. I think my senior year, going to that third championship, they gave us some shirts that said "All the Way to Heaven" in '87. I forgot but they were each year was a different slogan. They used to rhyme, but the town support was tremendous, man. I mean, it seemed like we already won the state championship before we left to go to Jackson, and then we came back to the same thing once we won. You know, they had a big parade. I mean, it was nice. You know what I'm saying? And the administrators, the school, the teachers, you know, the people in the town. I mean, everybody supported us, man. It was great, man. You know, it was nice. I remember that. I do remember that much about it. Like the cheerleaders, the students. I mean, everybody really supported us. I remember that. I ain't gonna never forget that time. Never. The fire marshal, I think in my high school years, I think every year we played, the fire marshal had to come. Especially, I mean, I never played even when I went on the road and played. I never played in front of a gym that was just a couple of people. No, it wasn't too packed. Every gym I played in was sold out. Especially when we in high school, everywhere we went was sold out. We went down Little Wheeler High. You couldn't even see the lines on the court. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere we went sold out. So I tell my son, you know, I got a son, and I tell him all the time, like, when I was watching him play in high school, I should be like, son, I don't even see how y'all get motivated to play out here. There's nobody at the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I told my son, when I played, you would be nervous. The crowd you see I played in front of, you know what I'm saying? But we always had tremendous crowd, always. Northeast. Like in Northeast, where I played junior college ball, I will talk about that later, but we always played in front of big crowds. I always did.
And they definitely motivate the team.
Oh,
right?
no doubt. Especially in New Albany. We had the greatest fans in the world, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, I think I only lost one game in high school at home. We lost to Wheeler. No, I lost to Wheeler, and I lost to Hot Spring. Hot Spring beat us. I lost 2 games in high school at home. That was it. Wheeler and Hot Spring beat us at home. Other than that, we ain't losing at home. You know, yeah, that's 2 games I lost.
Did y'all have a super fan?
Yeah, I did. Oh, I had to say he was my guy. Dude named Gerald Snyder. He used to ride on the bus with us to the game. Coach Hill loved him. And Coach Stroud, you know, kept on letting him do it. But my guy was Gerald Snyder. I can tell you a good story about Gerald. You know, he passed on, but I hadn't seen him in years. And my son was 14, and we was in Memphis playing for the Penny Hardaway AAU program, because my son, he really can play. So we was in Memphis, and I had my son playing on a 17-year-old team, but he was only 14. But they didn't know my son was 14. I didn't even tell them. I just had him on the team. So when we left Penny in them facility, we was going over to the gym to play in the tournament. The guy at the facility, because he knew me from, I never met this guy before, but he said his name was Pete. And he said, your name Foote, man. He said, I watched you play in high school in New Albany. And I was like, yeah. I said, who was you? He said his name was Pete. I really didn't know him. Anyway, he said that, man, you know, Gerald Snyder is in Memphis, man. You know, he do scouting down here. Man, I almost fainted when he said, because I hadn't heard Gerald's name in 30 years. You know, it's been a while at that time. So I said, man, you talking about Gerald Snyder, little short guy? He was like, man, Foote. He said, man, Gerald talk about you every time he see me. He want to know where you at. I said, man, don't tell me Gerald's at me. He said, man, he in Memphis. He said, you going to see him at the gym. So we over there, and I'm stretching my son before the game. Then I see this little chubby white dude running full speed, right? He run down the side of the court. It was Gerald, man. He jumped in my arms, man. Man, brought tears to my eyes. Man, I hadn't seen him in years, you know what I'm saying? But he used to be the guy that when we get on the bus, and this was my sophomore year, I was the youngest guy on the team. He used to get on the bus every game, every home game, and just chew my ear off. Like, you gotta stop pouting out there. You gotta play this. I mean, he used to be on me every game. And I just thought he was crazy. I'm like, man, something wrong with this dude, man, you know. But the whole time he was really telling me what I needed to hear. You know what I'm saying? And then he saw that the first time he met my son was that day. And he just started telling my son all these stories about me. You know what I'm saying? And he was telling my son if they knew that your daddy was coming home, they would throw a parade in New Orleans for your daddy, man. That's how good your dad was, right? And my son just made my son's day when he told him that. But that was a good story for Jerry. You know, he passed on a couple years back. But yeah, I got to see him though. You know, he was really happy to see me. You know. He was a scout. Because he was in the process of helping my son go to college before he passed on. You know, he's trying to get him in school and everything. You know, he do a lot. He was doing a lot of stuff for kids, a lot of kids. But Gerald was always like that when I was young. I mean, I used to literally the dodge him. Like I would go the other way because I didn't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? But as I got older in school, in my senior year, I totally just started clicking to him. I said, okay, I see what he's talking about now. You know what I'm saying? And because I didn't have a dad. My dad wasn't with me growing up. But I had so many dads around me. I just didn't know it at the time because I was just a little knucklehead kid, you know. But as time went on, you know, I understood, okay, I see what's going on. You know, this is my community. This is my dads. You know what I'm saying? And they were just trying to show me the right way. See, because as a kid, you don't want to be told you're doing that wrong or what you're doing, you know. Then they were just trying to show me the right way, you know. And I appreciate them for that. I really did.
You won state for the third year.
Third year. And then I didn't think I was going to college, play college basketball. I didn't have no scholarship, you know. I'm barely getting my grades in school, you know. All my teachers tell me, David, you're so smart. You're just doing enough to get by, you know. So I'm thinking, well, so I'm just going to get me a job and go to work and take care of my mama, you know. So Coach Hills came up to the school and from Northeast, because he had got the job at Northeast after my sophomore year. And he said, David, I got a full scholarship for you to come play basketball. I'm like, man, you kidding? I mean, all the letters I was getting from school, I was just throwing them away. I'm like, I ain't going to college, you know. I mean, I literally didn't think I was going to go to college. And Coach Hill said, hey, you know, David, I got a full scholarship for you. You want to come play? I'm like, yeah, Coach, I would love to come play for you. I already know him, you know what I'm saying? So I signed a scholarship with Coach Hill. I ended up going Northeast. My freshman year, we went 29-2, and we lost in the regional finals to go to the national tournament. And then my sophomore year, let me go back. I got another story I want to tell about Coach Chill before I talk about the college career. My sophomore year of high school, when we went undefeated, I meant to tell you this story earlier. We was 33-0. We just won North State. I got the MVP. I'm a sophomore. I get the MVP of North State. My head this big, you know. So we in practice that Monday, and the guys on the team ain't passing me the ball. You know, they freezing me out like he ain't getting the ball. You know, coming the young guy. You know, which sometimes you just gotta it's a pecking order. You know, you can't be over the seniors, man. Even though you played good, it's still a pecking order. That's how they looked at it. So, but I didn't understand that. Like, I'm balling, so give me the ball, right? So I just stopped running. You know, and Coach Hill was like, "What you doing?" And I'm like, "Coach, they not passing me the ball. I'm wide open." So Coach Hill said, "Have we ever ran a play for you all season, Dave?" Now, one time we hauled from the bench. Okay, this play's for David. Or I run the play for David. You're a garbage man. You rebound, you play defense, you assist. That's what you do. He said, "You know what? As a matter of fact, you off the team." So, you know me, tough guy. I'm like, okay. Same way I did Coach Whitbank. It was just like deja vu all over again. So I go to the locker room, I pack all my stuff up, I go home. I'm in my room, I'm bawling, I'm crying. You know, Mom like, what's wrong? I told her what happened. She said, well, forget them. You my baby. We ain't worried about them. They gonna need you, right? But I'm in there like, oh, that messed up, Mom. You know, so I'll never forget this. It was about 8 o'clock that night when the little Coach Hills come out of the house. Never been in my house, you know. And he done threw off Bobby Bowling, which could play. He threw off David White, all the team. Like, Coach Hill, he don't play. If you cross him, he don't play. So I knew I was done. That's all I was like, oh my God, I can't go back to school. They're gonna be like, man, you done got through all the team and y'all undefeated, you know. So Coach Hill come in the house, he started talking to my mom. I'm listening. She said, Coach Hill said, is David up? She told him, no, he sleep. But I wasn't asleep. So she was like, so Coach, what happened? And Coach Hill said, listen, I never forget these words. He said, David is our best player. He said, but he can't mess up the chemistry of the team. He just needs to keep on doing what he's been doing. Don't worry about those guys. Because I know what he's been dealing with all year. They've been riding him all year, but he just blocked that out and played. So I was so happy when he said, but Coach Hill said, but there's one thing he got to do in order to get back on the team. He got to come back and apologize to the whole team. You know what I'm saying? So he left. So Mama coming to tell me what happened. And I said, okay, I'm trying to play tough. Like, okay, I'll go back and apologize. You know, I don't want to, but I will, you know. So I go to school the next day, so we go to practice. I'll never forget this. We're in the locker room. Coach Hill said, everybody come in the office. So the whole team come in the office. I'm standing in there. So when I see my team, they look at me like, man, what are you doing? What Foote doing back? Especially Johnny and them. They didn't even want me back on the team. And Coach Hill said, David got something he wants to say to the team. So I apologized to him. I told him I was wrong. I was being selfish. I was wrong. Because I got to put the team first. I was wrong. And first thing Johnny, I never get, he said, he didn't want me on the team. But he was like, man, what's going on? I can't remember exactly what he said that day, but it was something to the effect like, just, he said something to my teammates like I told you, like I'm against them or something. But anyway, coach let me end up getting back on the team. And I tell my friends that story to this day, they don't even believe it. Like most of my friends that was going to school back then, that played ball the next year, I told them I got thrown out the team. Coach Hill brought me back. And they didn't believe it. Because they was like, if Coach Hill threw y'all team, he didn't bring you back. I said, man, Coach Hill brought me back. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But he told me that day, though. He said, Dave, you our best player. He said, you our best rebounder, assist guy, blocks, everything. You just third in scoring, but you do everything else for the team. You are the toughest guy every night. He said, so really, that's what you're going to learn going on as a young man. It ain't just about scoring points. It's a whole lot of jobs on the court out here. And he said, you do a lot of them good, and that's all you need to keep on doing. So I ended up coming back, and we ended up going on winning the state. Yeah, I cried when he threw me off the team. Man, when he knocked on my door and said I could come back, that was the greatest day of my life. I couldn't face my peers after getting thrown off the team like that. Ain't no way I could have faced them. They'd be like, man, you out there pounding like that. I think that's what they would have said,
Yeah.
But it worked out.
Well, I didn't realize that Coach Childers left after your sophomore year. So who was the coach your junior and senior years?
John Stroud.
Okay.
Me my junior and senior year.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk about Coach Stroud too, because Coach Stroud gave me my game. Coach Childers gave me the discipline, and Coach Wilbeck, Coach Ralph, they gave me the discipline on how to act and be mature. But Coach Stroud gave me my basketball game. He trained me like crazy. Like after practice, I would have to work 2-3 hours after practice with him. He the one that made me feel like I could play college basketball. Even though I really wasn't thinking I was going to college, but he made me feel like that I could play college basketball. So I thank Coach Stroud for that. You know what I'm saying? Because he came straight from the Houston Rockets, straight to coaching us. You know what I'm saying? So we thought he was God. He just played in the NBA. We watching Larry Bird. He playing against these guys. So man, I used to chew his ear off by questions. He played against Dominique Wilkins. Like I was like, man. And he used to tell me stories about them guys. He was like, Dave, Dominique Wilkins was a beast. He said I could not mess with him, man. He said when I played against Dominique, he said I used to see the bottom of his feet all game. He jumped so high, man. But Coach Stroud really could play. He put me in the mind of Joker that played for the Denver Nuggets. Coach Stroud couldn't jump that high, but you couldn't stop him. You know what I'm saying? That's like the Joker in Denver. Those guys out there want to kill him. He barely jumped off the floor. He killing everybody. There's just some guys play like that. Bird was the same way. They couldn't jump that high, but you couldn't stop them. They just knew how to play the game. But Coach Stroud, he gave me my game. The fundamentals, he taught me the fundamentals of the game. My freshman year, we lost in the regional finals. Then my sophomore year, we went out to the national championship finals and lost in the finals to win the national championship. And we had a great year that year. We had a great year. Both my years at Northeast, we got ranked number one in the country both years. We ended up losing the game and falling down, but we got ranked number one in the country both years when I was at junior college. So Coach Hills, my coach there 2 years, and we bumped heads a lot there because my head was super big by the time I got to Northeast. Yeah, but we bumped heads a lot. Yeah, I mean that was a rocky 2 years up there for me at Northeast because I think if Coach Chills hadn't left me at New Albany and then went to Northeast my freshman year with him, we'd have been straight. But when he left me them 2 years, my attitude changed. Because Coach Stroud wasn't as tough as Coach Chills was. So, as kids, I got my son even dealt with it. Son, you won't go with the easiest path because you're a kid. If you got a coach coming to practice every day making you run 100 sprints, and you got another coach coming to practice and say you're only going to run 5, you're going with the coach that's running 5, you're not going to go with the coach running 100. So, Coach Stroud was more laid-back coach, let us kind of do our thing. Coach Chills was straight discipline. So when I got to Northeast, I lost those 2 years of being around him. So now I'm All-American. I'm coming in. I'm the best player in North Mississippi. I got all this hype behind me. So I'm now tell Coach Chills I ain't the same foot. I'm big boy now. So we bumped heads for 2 years. I mean, I don't know how we won as many times we bumped heads up there. I had the worst attitude in the world. I mean, I had 2 great years, but my attitude was terrible. And I wish I could take those 2 years back because my attitude was terrible. I was terrible. It's just what it was. And then after I finished my sophomore year at Northeast, I signed a Division I scholarship with the University of Idaho with Kermit Davis. That's when I played for Kermit Davis, Coach Green. Coach Green's from Inglemark, Mississippi. I played for them at Idaho. And I had a good year there. D1. We finished 26-3, 26-4. Went to the NCAA tournament, the top 64. Lost to Louisville Cardinals in the first round. But that was the greatest experience in the world to go to the NCAA tournament. It was so nice, you know. And then Coach Davis ended up getting a job at Texas A&M head coach, and he took the whole coaching staff, and they wanted me to go with him to Texas A&M, but I would have to sit out a year. And I me as a kid, no dad, my mom she just did everything I say. She ain't trying to tell me nothing, you know. I'm like, Mom, I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting down. I'm gonna go somewhere and play. And then Coach Strauss, well, I can see you can go D2. I know 30 coaches want you at D2. You know, for if you want to play, it's a lot of D1 coaches want you, but you don't want to sit out. So, but if you want to play, it's going to be Division 2. So that's when I transferred to Central State in Oklahoma City, and we had a good year up there. Sure, we finished I think 27-3 up there. Won the Lone Star Conference championship, and then we lost in the conference championship to go to the nationals. And then I graduated. Well, no, I did. I graduated that next. I came back to school that next semester, and cause I didn't get a job. I had a job to go to Germany and play basketball, but I hyperextended my knee, so I had to sit out that. So I went back to school and I finished up my school and got my degree. So I didn't start going playing ball overseas until about a year after that, after my knee healed up. So I grew up watching Coach Green. Mark Buskirk played at Ingham. Coach Green, those guys, I think they finished 44-1 that year in high school. They lost one game all year. I remember that year. But I had Coach Green. He was the head assistant. Coach Cockrell and Coach Barnes. And Kermit Davis was the head coach. But Coach Green really was the head coach. Coach Davis just was the face, but Coach Green was the coach. I mean, discipline, structure. I mean, he was tough, man. But he was just trying to make sure you understood as you go on. That's life. Life gonna get tougher and tougher. So that's most of where I got my life lessons. You know, for me being a man was from my coaches. You know what I'm saying?
Was James Green your connection that got you up there? Was he like the New Albany connection?
Well, no, count. You can say that.
Like knew who you were.
Yeah, but Coach Davis knew who I was too, because he was based out of Mississippi City. They already knew who I was at Northeast. They didn't care what, because when I was coming out of Northeast, I had Tim Floyd at University of New Orleans, had Coach Eric South Alabama, Coach Gene Bartow UAB. I had 35 Division I offers when I was coming out. But Coach Chiller was telling these guys he's not ready, and he was telling the truth. He was just giving his honest opinion, because I was a knucklehead for 2 years. Like, he's not gonna do what you say. He gonna go astray. Now, I can honestly say that's not what it was. When I look back on it, what it was this. It's just we kids. Like, I'm gonna go with my mama if it's softer. My daddy mean, okay, I'm gonna stay with mama. You see what I'm saying? So with Coach Chiller, what I tried to tell him was like, okay, when I first met you, Coach, I was a stand-up player, discipline. Didn't fuss back, didn't say nothing. But you left me 2 years, then you give me Coach Stroud, and he just let me do what I want to do. So now I got to be retrained. But now I feel like I don't need to be. You know, it's crazy how it ended up being. You know, but he was right. He was telling the coach the truth. You know, like, you're gonna have to straight reprogram because he's just not there right now. You know what I'm saying? But all those coaches told him, man, I don't care what you say, we want him. You know what I'm saying? So. And I end up.
They wanted the chance to retrain.
They wanted the chance to retrain me. You know, like, I remember Tim Floyd told me and Coach Hill, like, you're right in front of Coach Hill. Coach Hill, I don't care what you say about Dave. He said, I got it. He said, I know exactly what to do with this kid. You know what I'm saying? He said, man, we want, all the coaches said, it wasn't one coach came in the office and said, well, Dave, you got to get your act together. We're gonna move on. They was like, man, we still want to sign you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Coach Hill liked that. I think it kind of moved in the wrong way. He didn't like that. And it's understandable that he felt that way, because he already knew what I was going through, and they didn't. You see what I'm saying?
Y'all had a history.
We had a history. You know what I'm saying? And I could just easily sit up here and say, Coach Hill, it was Coach Hill. I'm not gonna do that. Like, I was a kid that was experiencing something for the first time, and I didn't know how to handle it. You know, the fame, you know, all the attention, all that stuff, and I just didn't know how to handle it. I didn't have a dad growing up to show me how to be a young man, none of that stuff. I was getting it on the fly, you know what I'm saying? But by the grace of God, I also was a good kid, so that kind of saved me, you know what I'm saying? Because people saw something in me that I didn't see, They was like, man, you know, you need to switch that up. You're doing the wrong thing. And I eventually ended up doing it. You know what I'm saying? Straighten up. I had to go on to D1. I had to straighten up. You know, but Coach, yeah, we that was a rocky 2 years at Northeast. When I look at my career, it was rocky with Coach. My first year out of college, I hyperextended my knee playing, so I didn't play that first year out of college because I had a couple NBA trials that I went to right before I hurt my knee, but then none of them panned out. So I got a job going to Germany to play overseas, and then I hyperextended my knee in the workout, so I had to sit out for a whole year. So my first couple years out of college, I didn't even play overseas. I didn't play overseas until like 90. I didn't go overseas until like 90, 92. I think it was like the summer 92, 93, somewhere in there. I can't remember exact year. But I ended up playing 7 seasons overseas. But I played 3 different countries, but I ended up playing 7 seasons. And my first 2 years in Germany, and I hated it. I hated it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the place. I didn't like the food. I didn't like nothing about it. You know, so the members of Germany ain't too good. I did not like it. I just liked the money. That was it. And then after I left there, I went to Finland and played 2 seasons over there. And but my second season I got hurt. But I finished the season, but I got hurt, so I didn't go back for the 3rd year. And then that's when I went to South America, and I played in South America for 3. I played in South America 3 years, and that was the best place I played for 3 years in South America. I played in Chile, South America, but we was all over South America, you know, just all over the place. But I enjoyed being in South America. It was nice. Yeah, we had a good team there too. I think we made it to the playoffs the first 2 years. Then the 3rd year, we almost made it to the championship, but I got hurt in my 3rd season, so I had to leave, and that's when another guy replaced me. But they ended up getting put out in the playoffs. But I got hurt because I had a chance to win it all that year, but I got hurt, so I had to leave. You know, and I played 7 years overseas. I finished basketball. I moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Matter of fact, I was living in Oklahoma City. I was married, but when I was overseas, my wife divorced me. I got divorced, so when I came back home, instead of moving back to Oklahoma City, I wanted a new start, fresh start, so I moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's when I started teaching school at Holy Family. So I taught school about 6, 7 years at Holy Family. And then after that, I started my own business after that, and I was doing I had a mobile detail business, I had a lawn service business. So ever since then, that's all I've been doing up until the last 2 years, because I got hurt, so I had to put that on the shelf because it was just too hard for me.
So when did you move back to New Albany?
Last June. I moved back to New Albany. My baby brother got sick, and I moved back. Well, I wasn't planning on moving back. I was coming back to visit, you know, and I'd already lost my sister, and that was tough on my mom. And then when I came back in June to visit my brother, he had stage 4 cancer, so he passed away in August. So that totally destroyed my mom, you know. So I couldn't just leave. I couldn't just leave her like that. So I've been here since June, and now that I've been home, I've been seeing all the stuff that I missed since I've been gone. Now I can't leave. You know what I'm saying? You know, I love New Albany. I hate that I had to leave. I hate that I left the way I did, not to come back as long as I did. You know, but I love being home. I love everything about the small town. You know, I tell people all the time, you know, that I meet. I hear people talk about you know, my kids get old, I want them to move away and all this. I tell them, I said, let me tell you something, man. If I had to do all over again, I would have never left New Albany, Mississippi. I would have never left this place, man. I have my footprint all over New Albany, you know. I hate I did that, you know. But I tell people, like, the world's not always all cracked up to be out there. I'm telling you, man, you better find you a nice little piece of cone in this world and take care of it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's terrible out here, man, you know. But, yeah, I miss home a lot, I really did. And I'm glad I'm back.